Hey guys, the Commander Casual here, playing my Atraxa Exalted deck. The Voltron deck running a bunch of Exalted cards, and Atraxa is the commander because he gives access to all the Exalted colors, and is also just a big body, 4/4 flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink. We don't really take advantage of the Proliferate trigger at all in this deck, but that's just because that's how I wanted to build a deck. So we start off with our Temple. There's a Kodama's Reach on top, which we want to keep because that'll give us access to all of our colors. We kind of technically have it, but we don't have four lands that produce all of our colors. So we're playing against a Jori En the Ruin Diver, or just Ruin Diver. You cast your second spell, you just turn draw a card. It's usually like a Spellslinger style deck. Could be like a Storm deck. Rakdos Lord of Riots. I've never played against a Rakdos deck, but typically Rakdos decks are like big artifact or big Eldrazi colorless stuff. You basically like deal a bunch of damage to everybody, and then with Rakdos out, and then you get to cast really big scary Eldrazi stuff for free. And then there's Jhoira of the Gitu, which is very similar to the Rakdos style deck, except you don't deal the damage, you just suspend a bunch of big scary things, and then after like what is it, like 4 turn cycles or something, they come into play because you get to exile things with 4 suspend counters on it. So we were joking earlier because this guy said the Jhoira player said he had 6 lands and a Soul Ring in hand, and I was joking for him to keep it, and he kept it and then drew a 7th land, but he went first. So, and if he draws like literally anything, he's got a good play. So I don't feel too bad for him. Now I don't know if we can Greaves and then Atraxa next turn, or no, we'd Kodama's Reach next turn, and then be able to Atraxa after that. I don't know. Or we could I don't know if I want to do anything yet because it just makes us look like a threat. I think I'm just gonna tap out here because we could steal Shaper's Gift and go get like a sword, but that's just gonna make everybody target us. We're obviously gonna get a red sword against these decks. I think next turn we could Kodama's Reach, and then after that we can Hour of Promise, and then we'll just have like a massive land base going. Could even Temporal Mastery after both of those things if we wanted. I'd rather use this when we have an actual turn to exploit it though, rather than just take an extra turn to draw an extra card and play an extra land. Extra. Okay, so this Jori player's gonna pass. Tap out. I'm assuming they're saving. They probably have like a bunch of low-cost spells to benefit off of Jori En's ability and draw more cards. But I'm assuming they're probably going to save them until they actually have Jori En out to draw cards with. Graven Cards for this Rakdos player. Yeah, these are kind of the 2 decks to watch. This deck could be scary, but that's just kind of more of a possibility. Whereas like these ones are like built. That's just how these decks are. They just are scary like that. Like this could just be like a black-red cool demonsy style deck. I just really doubt it. It's just about every time Rakdos is played, it's kind of like Neheb the Eternal style decks, but you don't just get red mana, so you don't usually run burn stuff. You just get a reduction to stuff, and it's just for creatures. So usually you just run like big Eldrazi and stuff like that. What did they use in their ability? What's he doing? Is he gonna destroy this in response? Why wouldn't you do that on like your... I guess he could have done this at instant speed in response anyway. What's he exiling? He still gets to do it. Actually, was he... No, he wasn't tapped out. Never mind. I don't think he was. Oh no, he would have been tapped out. Why didn't this guy terminate on his end step? Obliterate. Destroy all artifacts, creatures, and lands. They can't be regenerated. Land destruction. Yuck. So I don't I don't know if anybody's gonna even bother like playing anything. I think we're gonna hold on to our stuff. We're just gonna play like a Knight of Infamy here. The issue, this is like pretty solid because he'll just keep playing stuff, and it sucks. I'm trying to think if there's anything we can do to deal with that. We can't really. There isn't a huge point to playing lands. We'd have to discard a card anyway. I'm just gonna play Knight of Infamy and slowly bang in at this guy while we wait for shit to happen. That's so spooky. I don't know what else we do about that, other than just like, because there isn't a huge point in playing out lands and stuff. Or Kadam's reaching, because we just get lands to be blown up. I'm going to flame this guy a little bit, because I want to. Land destruction. The most fun mechanic. I understand the tactical advantage of having that card in that deck, in that it's like you suspend it, you suspend a ton of other stuff, so it like destroys everything, and then you get a bunch of crap afterwards because you have all that stuff suspended and it hits the field. But I don't know. I really, really don't like land destruction. Targeted land destruction's a little bit different, as long as you're not running it en masse. Targeted land destruction makes sense for stuff like Cabal Coffers and Gaia's Cradle, Serra Sanctum, and all those kinds of lands that give people like a massive advantage. Then it's like, yeah, okay, go ahead and run Avalanche Riders or like a Molten Rain or something like that. But mass land destruction is just bleh. He's probably going to play Jhoira here and then suspend something. You can attach the Diviner's Wand to it. So there we go. Whenever you draw a card, this creature gets +1/+1 and gains flying until the end of the turn, and you can pay 4 to draw a card. And you can attach it to wizards. Maybe this is just like a budget Jori En deck or something like that. I'm not super sure why I played this, but artifacts, creatures, and lands, yeah. Okay, so I kind of wish we'd played the planes earlier because we could have Steel Shapers gifted. Because I don't want to play the planes now, because I want to keep our lands. And I want to keep both of these so that we can recover faster. So I think we just attack this Jori En player. Sorry, Jhoira. Jhoira of the Gitu. This is Jori En. Go, Exalted Creature. So what do we discard here? Maybe Temporal Mastery. It's a really expensive Time Warp right now. I'm just going to tap out so that we can F8. Yeah, I think we discard Temporal Mastery. Sorry, discard. God, that obliterates such a pain. Because it's kind of like regardless of how it goes, he gets what he wants. And well, I guess he doesn't get to keep scoring, but like it's like we either refuse to play anything because there's an obliterate in the exile zone. And so he just gets to play stuff, or we play stuff and it all gets obliterated. Quite literally. So, anyway, this will be interesting. I'm curious to see how this is going to go. Because he did have a handful of lands. And we knew he drew a land, or at least he said he drew a land, and then he probably drew an obliterate too. So he's still looking for answers for the most part. Yeah, so he ran an opt, so he's going to draw cards. Jori En gets +1/+1 and flying. The Diviner's Wand is cool in the Jori En deck. Just gives you an extra way to get in for some damage. And draw cards, I guess, if you have spare mana to dump into it. Yeah, this guy's like straight up just passing. Because he's kind of doing the thing I am, where he's like, why bother playing anything if it's just going to get blowed up? Scary thing though is we've got like 2 more turn cycles until that goes off. Just thinking if there's something I could be doing that's better. Again, I don't want to play that Plains and Steel Shaper's Gift because I don't want to lose the Plains. I'm just thinking to myself, if I draw a land, do I keep it and get rid of Rock's Charger? Okay, maybe we Plains and Steel Shaper's Gift now. Yeah, let's do that. Eldrazi Devastator, yeah. So it's gonna be a pain in the ass afterwards. Even if I grab, if you're screaming at the screen right now, because you think I should have gotten a red sword earlier and equipped it and I wouldn't have gotten my thing blown up. Good idea, but that's not how that works. Protection just gives you protection from the target. If it's just a destroy, like an untargeted destroy, or an all effect, it'll still hit everything. But we're still going to grab a red sword. So there's Fire and Ice. It says ping and draw cards. And War and Peace. Gain life. I think we need Body in Mind. Well, not need, just want. Get him. Just gonna try and punish him a little bit while we can right now. I mean, even if he obliterates and then gets the Devastator, I mean, it's still like if he breaks out like that after he obliterates everything, it's basically gonna turn into a 3-on-1. So somebody might take some decent damage, likely to be me, but at least I've basically got. Why did I take Body in Mind? Oh my god! Anybody watching this probably screamed at that. I thought I clicked on Fire and Ice. That's like the last sword I wanted. I thought I clicked on Fire and Ice. Did I even say Body in Mind as I clicked on it too? Well, sorry guys. That's probably really frustrating to note. But I guess the sword's a sword's a sword. It still gives us Pro Blue, which is two of the 3 decks. This guy's gonna pick on Reverend as well, or Reverend. Because he deserves it, because he's a butt. They cast another spell. Get that sig value. No. Okay, fine. I was gonna say, I probably would just be activating the Jori En activated ability now, because it has the Diviner's Wand on it to draw cards, but I guess the Jace's Sanctum won't get blown up, because it's an enchantment. Jita Hagra. Oh, it's just to get the damage trigger on everybody. I'm assuming the death touch thing isn't that great. Yeah, so in his next upkeep, everything explodes. He's exiling Dragon Style Twins. It's kind of a not that good card. I mean, they're not bad, but they don't seem that good in this deck. Maybe this is like a budget deck, or a more budgety version, because that's not an Ulamog or a Kozilek or anything like that. What do we draw? Temple of Plenty. I think we're going to hang on to that. Oh, I still feel like such a moron about grabbing that wrong sword. That's a major misplay. But whatever. Because I think just about any other sword would have been a better choice than Body Mind. I mean, sword's a sword, but yeah, he's going to block because everything's going to explode anyway. At least this way, if he's going to suspend anything else, he has to do it right now. No. So I'm guessing the other 5 cards in his hand are all lands, which is a good sign for us. Man, I wish Kodama's reach for an instant. For right now. Yeah, so next turn we'll play Temple, and then we'll try and go from there. Do we even... I was like, do we discard the sword? No. It's still a sword. Get him. Draw a card and get him. I can tell him to draw to deal extra damage, but maybe he has something else planned. If not, I'll be kind of disappointed in him. Okay, then I'm kind of disappointed in him. He might as well have drawn a card there just to have an extra, or be an extra card deeper in his library and done an extra damage because he would have gotten an extra +1/+1. Unless he's going to draw sometime after his turn so that he gets to have all 8 cards rather than have to discard one of them to 7 on his end step. But I'm kind of really heavily relying on these other 2 decks to have some kind of removal, specifically the Rakdos deck. Yeah, now he's going to draw a card. Okay, fair enough. It's his choice. Puts his game back down to square, I don't know, 1-ish. This guy discarded a Karavak the Merciless. Yep, there's the Obliterate. Yep. I'm gonna play a Temple of Plenty, and we get to scry. Juror Duty Bound Dead. NATO. Yeah, I'll take it. This guy also seems to feel how I do about land destruction, and that's not super fun. I really like this card for some reason. Can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know, the art's cool, but I just like the idea of having like a 1-drop exalted creature that can do other stuff. It doesn't completely suck. There's a couple like little 1-drop dudes that get exalted, but Mind's Desire. But he's doing some stormy stuff. Polluted Mire. It's a cool art. It's gonna drain everybody. Yep. As long as this guy's dying faster, I'm cool with it. Because in 2 turns he's gonna get a Devastator. With haste. And then the turn after that he's gonna get a... Or sorry, yeah, so his next turn he gets the Devastator, and then after that he gets the Dragonstall Twins. I'm just really banking on this guy having some kind of removal. We're just gonna wait in Kodama's reach. 'Cause there ain't nothing else we can do. Sublime Archangel. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play Argreaves now. Then we can Kodama's reach for an island and a swamp next turn, so we'll have our colors. And we can Hour of Promise for some better lands after that. Can't remember if I'm running Cabal Coffers and Urborg in here, but if I am, that's what I'm getting. Just to start generating much more mana, because that'll help me bounce back from this quick. But the more I accelerate mana-wise, the more I'm gonna get punched by this Jhoira player. Jhoira. Let's go Jhoira. It's hard to say, okay? I don't know how they pronounce things in... Where's she from? Plain. I don't know. Dominaria, maybe? I don't know. Who does? If you do know, put a comment. I'd like to know, legitimately. I like the lore and story of Magic, because I'm a nerd, so... But you're also a nerd if you're watching this, so deal with that. Nerds. Yeah, I told you. Okay, so he's gonna get a Devastator, and then I'm hoping he punches Thunder Pigs in the face, just because he has higher health than us. But he might be sour about Walkerus or me hitting him with our little creatures. Ooh, play another one. The advantage, at least, is that Jhoira died like twice, so it's going to cost a lot more to play. So he won't get that anytime soon. So it'll take him a while to get anything else big out on the field. He just has his, he'll just have these two. Yay! He attacked, not us. Okay. Devastator punches Thunder Pigs for 8. So he's gonna drop down to 35. Still a very manageable health total. He's also gonna continue to drain us as he plays more lands. He's gonna get 2 triggers next turn off the retreat because he'll Rocky Tar Pit for something, and he'll probably play a land as well. Ooh, Rexage. That's a nice thing to have. Sorry, my finger floated to it just because it's the new card to cost 3, but I do want a Kodama's Reach. What would we destroy? I'm not worried about Jace's Sanctum or the retreat. Island and a swamp. Play the swamp. Then we can Hour of Promise next turn. Yeah, I'm really glad we saved those cards in our hand, because that made this a lot less scary. We might eat the next punch, just because we're starting to accelerate, or at least the punch after that. But it's okay. Unless this guy's really on track to kill the Rakdos player. Is it Kirun? So he's accelerating as well. Yeah, it looks like everybody was smart and just saved up their lands in their hand. I mean, we knew over hand was all lands still, but I guess I could play Atraxa next turn, but nothing else. I don't really want to do that. I mean, we could Greaves up and start hitting Reverend, but I want to Hour of Promise first, and then we could play. How much mana would we have after Hour of Promise? Depends if there's the Urborg and Cabal coffers, but if we can, then we could theoretically Sword of Body and Mind, Atraxa, Lightning Greaves, and attack. It'd be pretty good. Or we could Rex Sage and Atraxa and do some other stuff. Yeah, so it gets 2 triggers of that, which we knew was going to happen. Goes back up to 37. He's still at the highest life total because of that now. So hopefully he eats the next punch as well. And we'll get another turn of good graces. Oh, I guess there's the Dragonstall Twins now too. It's time to see how ruthless this Jhoira player is, because if he were really ruthless, he'd like go very specifically for one person and just try and knock him right out of the game. But I have a feeling he's going to split the damage just because he's like, none of these guys are really a huge threat right now, so I'm just going to keep my options open. But we'll see. He might vindictively attack the Thunder Pigs guy for blowing up Jhoira earlier. He only has 4 lands, so he's still a ways off from casting Jhoira again. Thankfully. Thunder Pigs and Walkers. Oh, nice. So he's splitting the damage, but we're lucky enough not to be hit by any of it. We'll probably get attacked next turn then, because we'll have the highest life total and we'll be Hour of Promising. Rift. I'm okay with this. Super okay with this. We bound. Our Lightning Greaves gets bounced. That's it. He's gonna. Oh, he's just doing single target. Okay. Sorry, for whatever. Yeah, he couldn't overload that. He doesn't have nearly enough mana. Okay, fine. Well, whatever. The Devastator's dead, and the other guy's in his hand, and he can't cast it yet because he either doesn't have enough mana or he doesn't have enough red mana. So, cool. So we get another turn scot-free, and we don't lose our Greaves. This is shaping up to be good so far. I drew some removal, which is also nice. And we're gonna do this. I really hope we have Urborg and Cabal coffers in here. That's mostly why I'm running Hour Promise. Nope. Oh no, it's in here so I can get Cathedral of War, that's why. Okay, we'll grab a Cathedral. We've got 2 white sources. Should I grab another black source? Something that's black and white. Oh, I'll just grab a command tower. Or I could grab a temple. It's a lot of neutral mana though. You know, I'm just gonna grab the temple. I just want mass mana. We've got, like, we can dump a bunch of neutral mana into Sword of Body and Mind. The Cathedral gives us Exalted, that's why I'm grabbing it. It's just, you know, what I want. So we've got enough mana to Atraxa, Sword. We can't quite equip it. If we draw a land, we can equip Sword. So come on, land. Yeah, if we can't, well, I guess we play Oh, we can't Atraxa and Sublime. That would have been good. I guess we could have gotten like a white source instead of the Cathedral. Then we could have Atraxed and Sublime Archangel, but I'm not stressed about it. So I think next turn I'm going to play Atraxa. And even if we don't draw lands, I'll still probably play the sword and equip with Lightning Greaves to attack. If I draw a land, great. Then I'll play sword, equip sword, and then Lightning Greaves and attack. Oh, so he can play his dragon whatevers now if he wants. But it doesn't have haste. Yeah, Dragonsteel Twins. I mean, Double Strike Prowess is still scary, but it'd be more scary in this guy's deck. Just because he's more likely to get more Prowess triggers. Rift? We don't need to Rift yet. I was going to be super upset if this gets countered, but it doesn't look like it's an option with both the blue players tapped out. Like that. And we don't have enough mana yet, so we're just going to do that. Tap this out so I can F8. Move to combat. We're going to attack this Reverend player. Because I don't like his deck. Because it's scary. We at least get, yeah, an Exalted trigger from the Cathedral. So we're still hitting for 5 and gaining 5. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm surprised I don't see more Cathedral of War in Commander. I feel like it should be kind of a staple for just about any Voltron deck, but that's just me. Is there anything I'd want to proliferate? I don't think there is anything to proliferate. As far as things in our deck that can be proliferated, I think we literally just have Everflowing Chalice and Astral Cornucopia. So, if you're a big Atraxa fan and you're spurning me for not playing a typical Atraxa deck, then I'm sorry. But this is how I wanted to play it. I wanted to break the mold a little. And this is a really strong 4/4 commander for 4 that gives me access to all the colors Exalted is in. So, deal with it, I guess. So next turn we could... How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we could Sublime and Duty Bound and Equip. That's pretty good. Because we can move the Lightning Greaves over to something else, equip that, and then move the Lightning Greaves back onto Atraxa. Then we get a whole bunch of Exalted triggers, because this will have double Exalted, because it does stack. If it has multiple instances, it triggers separately. So he'll have double Exalted. She has Exalted. She'll have Exalted. Cathedral has Exalted. So that'll hit for some serious damage. Ha, getting Chaos Warped. Jesus Sanctum. That's actually not the greatest idea against that deck. He could get like an Ulamog off this, or a Kozilek or something. It's scary. I don't know. Doesn't seem like the greatest idea to me. What'd they get? A land? They got an island. Nice. Is he gonna attack the Reverend guy? That'd just be hilarious. He's been so neutered. This is exactly what I talked about, though. It's when you roll out that hard at the start of a game, it just becomes a 3 versus 1. unless you can kill somebody, and then it's just a 2-versus-1. So if you can outlast, then good for you. And if you can do it, then that's great. But usually those kinds of decks that do that are super, super oppressive and not very fun to play against, because they're just so, the mechanic they use is just so powerful. Using some efficient game clock time. 40-minute clocks for this game, and we've used like 6 minutes of it. Just gonna hide away with the Spine Rock Null. Then we're gonna get drained by Exalted Atraxa, but we don't care because we're gaining lots of life with Atraxa. What you got, dude? Actually, I suppose he can play Rakdos this turn. Oh, no, he can't. Sorry, because the Spine Rock Null's already tapped. Because Rakdos is black, black, red, red. Did he just realize that he can't actually cast it? Oh, he's casting something. Nuddle Drone. Yeah, so he's definitely playing like Eldrazi Tribal. Oh, wait, no. This is just a good Rakdos card. Like this guy. I mean, not Rakdos is in the guild. Still kind of budgety, but yeah, because he can't play Rakdos unless he deals damage to people. Or unless, sorry, opponents have lost life, I should say. So I think we can just kill this guy next turn. Which, unless he has like a thing, is actually what's going to happen, I think. I almost want to attack one of these guys. But that'll start the spurnery. And I also don't want to give this guy a chance. Because he's running obliterates and stuff. Interesting. Guy doesn't look like he's having a good time. The eyes let flow with tears, then blood, then the very soul, the whole wrung inside out, dripping down into the blackened puddle of the past. It's a little gross, not gonna lie. A little gross. Okay, stabs for Grixis. Alright. So white, 2 neutral, Sublime. These guys are all tapped out, so I'm not super worried about like a Pact of Negation or something like that, or a Forbid maybe. Man, I'd actually be so chapped if that happened. So chapped. Okay, we're gonna move those over there. I'm gonna do that and move that onto there. Then we're going to move those back to there. Yeah, we're getting there. We're doing stuff and things. 2D bound dead. Now Atraxa is going to hit like a freaking truck. I'm not sure if we killed this guy. I kind of want to leave mana up for a Rift just in case, even if it's a single target Rift. That's a lot of triggers. I think he lives with like 1. 8. Yeah, he lives with 1. He lives with like 1 life. That's awesome. Yeah, so we got a double trigger off the Duty Bound Dead because he's Exalted and Exalted from Sublime, and that's how that works. Now Atraxa has Exalted, and the Cathedral has it as well. We're gonna gain like 11 life here. We get to mill him as well. We get a token, which will. Oh, actually, the Sword of Body and Mind is good with the Sublime Archangel, so it's not terrible. But I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't make a mistake earlier, because it gets us wolves, and the wolves will have Exalted, so it gives us extra triggers. This guy can't block anyway. I'm just gonna always yield to that trigger. We get a wolf with Exalted. See how it says Exalted 1? Because it can have, like, if we had multiple Sublimes, it'd have, like, Exalted 2. This guy technically has Exalted 2. What do we get? Electrolyze, Oakham Hellkite, Remove Soul, Void Winnower, Mesmeric Orb, Conquering Manticore. Yeah, so I don't feel bad. There's nothing I want to proliferate here, but because Exalted isn't counters, it's just a +1/+1. This guy can kill him now with either of those. We did our part. Yeah, we're just gonna... Oh, I guess we don't have to auto-yield because it flips once, but he now has the Voracious Raider. And all of his instants and sorcerers cost 2 less to cast. I like this card. I think it's cool. I always want to put it in my Spellslinger decks, but it never quite makes the cut. It's a shame. I think it's worth it in the Jori En deck, though, just because it's another low-cost spell. The Prowess is cool, too. I'm just going to yield to that. Yeah, it resolves. I can't counter it, but I sure as hell can bounce something if I want to. Does Rakdos have flying? He's got wings. Yeah, he does. But like, that'd be weird if he didn't. He's gonna poke somebody with his Voracious Raider here. Some serious pokey. 8-5 with first strike. That's some damage. I feel like we're gonna get poked here. Draw 3 cards. You control artifacts. Discard a card. He controls an artifact, so he just draws 3 cards. Yeah, so it looks like this is more of a budgety style deck. So kudos to this guy. I mean, he's running like Mind's Desire and stuff, but we're just gonna auto yield to this stuff because I don't think I'm gonna be able to or want to stop him from scrying a card or just drawing off of Jori En's ability in the future. I just turn off my auto yields if I need to. Do we want to riff the reader? That seems like a waste. Maybe we just block with a wolf. I'm assuming he's attacking us. No! He's going for the throat! That's awesome. He's clearly trying to appease us, and I take it. I enjoy I revel in the appeasement, because I would rather kill this Rakdos player first, because he's scarier to me, because he has the potential to drop huge Eldrazi guys like this Jhoira deck did. He's also just going to have the most targeted removal, and I know Atraxa is safe from that right now, but that doesn't mean she'll be safe from it for the whole game. Like, if this guy plays Rakdos here, we might bounce it on his end step. Just because I don't want him to have it. Because it'll, yeah, that's the thing about the Rakdos deck, is it's like the Jhoira deck, but it's different, but it's a little bit more reliant on Rakdos, just because he is more conditional. Yeah, I think he's just going to play Rakdos here, because he needs to deal damage before that, so that's what the Nettle Drone's in there for. There he is. Each opponent lost life? Each player. For each 1 life your opponents lost. Okay, so you can still play like a 3-drop right now. No, we're not going to let that happen. See you, dude. Rakdos is not to be trusted, and I also don't want to be attacked by it. That's an option. I like that. We can't play our Rex Sage, but that's okay with me right now. We're gonna draw some cards. Gonna Harmonize. Is there a blue equivalent to Harmonize? just pay 2 blue and 2 neutral and draw a card. Or draw 3 cards. That doesn't have like a goofy condition or anything like that. I'm sure there must be. Oh, I should have said you needed that guy. That was my bad. It wasn't very polite of me. It said somebody disconnected, but I thought it was the other guy. Or, like, I thought it was River and or Walkers, but... Can I draw cards, please? I want to draw cards. Let me draw cards. Let me draw cards. I'm going crazy. Come on, let me draw cards. Thunder Pigs. Come on. I like this guy's username. It's funny. Do sideboard? No. So we can hit him here for 6 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12. And then we get another Whoop. I like the body and mind interaction with Sublime Archangel. That's nice. Let's get more dudes, which gives us more Exalted triggers. We also don't want to attack this other guy yet, because discarding cards, or him milling cards, is going to give him instants and sorceries. You know, while this guy's waiting, I'm just going to run to the washroom real quick. I have returned. And he still hasn't let us draw cards. Makes me sad. Makes me real sad. Eject. Question mark? I mean, if he's gone, it's a very... I think it's a very clear win for us. But I don't know. The main thing I'd be scared of from this blue guy is like a rift. But his is in his graveyard already. And he'd have to play something else to get it back first. I think he is salty about the rift or something. Possibly. Do we wait or eject? Question mark. He could be salty and just making us wait, because people do that sometimes. I understand that. I get salty all the time. I was going to say sometimes, but I get salty a lot. I was already salty this game about the Obliterate. So what to do? Eject? Yeah, okay. Let's eject away. Unfortunately, some people do that. They just disconnect like that to waste people's time. But, Oh, we got a Pure Steel and a Sword of the Animist. Clever Impersonator. Oh my goodness. If we Clever Impersonator the Sublime Archangel. Ooh, hoo, hoo. I want to see that. I want to see it. Yeah, see now he actually has Exalted 2. This guy's Exalted 3, and these guys both have Exalted 2, and this has Exalted 2. This is gonna hurt a lot. Walkerus, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I was gonna say attack with all creatures. No. That will not hurt that much. Oh! Oh, no, we're not quite there. That's big damage, though. We'll just pass post-combat stage. That was a lot. Was that like 12 triggers? Because this wasn't in existence yet. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we got 11 triggers. Oh, 12 with the Cathedral. We made his thingy stronger, but Turnabout, Elixir, Benzer's Journal, Thermo Alchemist. Yeah, so it looks like he's just playing like a fairly budgety Jori deck. For anybody who's looking to get into Magic the Gathering Online, don't be dissuaded by this, because this deck was not super cheap. Like the Sublime Archangel and Atraxa were big cards, and I'm running all the swords and stuff like that. Like this was not a super cheap deck. It didn't cost me a ton to build at the time, just because like it's MTGO. So I had a bunch of the cards already. Like I had all my basics. I had like this. I got the Cathedral. I had the Temple. I had Sword of the Animist. I had Pure Steel Paladin. I think I had Mortify. I had Rex Sage, Harmonized, Cyclonic Rift. Can't remember if I got Hour of Promise for this one or not. I had Kadama's Reach. I had the Temples. I had. I didn't have these guys. I think I might have gotten Steel Shaper's Kit for this one. But anyway, don't be dissuaded by thinking you need to spend a lot of money to have a functional deck. Magic the Gathering, or MTG Goldfish, sorry, has a really good section on their website, like whole section of it devoted to a bunch of different budget commanders. And that's actually how I got into Magic the Gathering Online. Is it built a budget Borborygmos deck that cost me something like 7 ticks, or like 6 ticks, and like just stupid cheap. And it's actually like super functional because it kind of plays off that whole you don't do anything early in the game, so nobody's scared of you. So you just and your commander costs a ton, so people aren't really worried about it until late in the game. And then they've already kind of been taking each other down. So the idea is that like you run half your deck is lands pretty much, and then you just run a ton of cards that either ramp or put lands into your hand. And then you run like a couple haste enablers, like you put in Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots, maybe like a Fervor or an Anger or something like that. And then you play Borborygmos, Smash Face, and then you get more lands in your hand off of his trigger. And then you just use the lands, because Borborygmos has an active ability where you discard a land and you get to deal 3 damage to creature or player. And then you just throw tons of bolts around with the lands. And usually by like that point in the game, when you're actually hitting in with Borborygmos, people have already like started to attack each other and like done some serious damage, unless you get like a crazy ramp start. But yeah, and you run like Journeyer's Kite. You can run. I don't have it in there yet because it wasn't out when I built the deck. But you run like a Thematic Compass and things that just search your hand or your deck for lands and puts them into your hand. Sorry, talking's hard. I really don't want him to have the mortars. He can't cast it this turn anyway. He could kill one of our archangels, but that won't change much. Honestly, I think I'm gonna do this. Yeah, because the mortars is the only thing we're worried about. This stuff, he can take all this. I don't care. Vandal Blast doesn't. Is Vandal Blast might. That's tough. Does he? Oh, he has flyers now. Oh, the Vandal Blast's the problem because you can get rid of our sword with it. Hmm. He can't Mizium Mortars yet. He only has 2 red sources, so he can't overload it. Yeah, I think we have to do this because the Vandal Blast is the current threat. Propaganda we can pay for. Storm Chaser, Mage, whatever. Treasure Cruise, whatever. Yeah. Unfortunately, this shows him how much we fear the Vandal Blast. Yeah, he takes the Vandal Blast. Because he's going to get rid of the sword. Or the Greaves so he can deal with Atraxa. But I don't think he can deal with Atraxa if we still have the sword on it. Oh, right, he can overload it. I forgot about these that make it a discount. Oh, that's actually a pain. A huge pain. Because we don't have trample, and they've got a ton of flyers now. We could blow like 1 up, but it's not going to make the difference. Crap. Okay, we'll see what we draw here. I mean, we've got a ton of health, but the longer this goes on, the more likely we are to lose, unfortunately. That's just the brass tacks of it. I'll just block with a wolf. Actually, yeah, we'll block with a wolf. It's like we got lots of life, but we'll block with a wolf for now. I think he might have some kind of counter spell up. Battle Grace Angel. Oh, it's the pseudo lifelink one, but that stacks with lifelink, I think. Gross. Oh, this is giving them flying. Okay, then we can mortify. Let's see how they respond to this. I was like, why does Jori have flying? But it's because this thing's giving it. I assume these tokens just had it. That's not just a human wizard. Yeah, here comes a counter. No? Maybe it's like a bounce spell. We're gonna destroy this sanctum here. Hopefully he can't cast whatever he wants to. So we've easily got commander damage on him, even without any exalted. So yeah, I'm curious, do we just attack with everything? Destroy this sanctum. Do we forgo the exalted plan? It's dicey, but that seems smart. Yeah, we're gonna use Rek'Sage's ability. I mean, there's no reason not to, because if we deal 4 damage with the Atraxa, we win, because he's already got the commander damage, so... We're just gonna attack with all our flyers. I'll leave these weenies back to block if we need to. What you got? There it is. That's the game. GG. Oh, we didn't GG that. Oh, I guess we ejected the other guy, so we couldn't GG him anyway. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked the video. Leave a like if you liked the video. I guess dislike it if you dislike the video. Even though you'll damage my fragile self-confidence. I'm sure you're probably like screaming at the screen at some points during this video. Just some of my choices, especially the like hard misclick on the Sword of Body and Mind. But it worked out. It comboed kind of with the Battle Grace, or with the Sublime Archangel. So yeah. Anyway, check out my channel if you want to see more videos of this deck, or if you want to see more more videos of more kind of unique style commander decks. I've got lots up. Have a good one, guys.